In the peaceful mountains of Japan, there stood a Zen monastery, a place where the beauty of nature met the wisdom of ancient teachings. Among the cherry blossoms and towering pine trees, monks quietly walked the path to enlightenment. This was Fukuji, a place where many had come seeking peace from the noise of their minds. But finding that peace is a journey. One spring morning, a young monk named Tetsuo arrived at the gates of Fukuji, eager but troubled. His mind, like so many of ours, was filled with incessant chatter, thoughts racing, worries swirling, distractions at every turn. No matter how hard he tried, he could not quiet the noise inside. Tetsuo bowed deeply before Master Ryokan, the abbot known for his wisdom and serenity. The young monk's eyes were filled with both hope and uncertainty. "Master Ryokan," Tetsuo said, his voice tinged with frustration, "I seek to calm my mind. My thoughts are endless and I cannot find peace. Please, teach me how to silence the chatter in my mind." Master Ryokan observed Tetsuo with understanding eyes. He had seen many monks struggle with the same challenge. The mind, after all, can be like a restless child, constantly demanding attention. He smiled gently and beckoned Tetsuo to follow him. As they walked through the garden, Master Ryokan began to share his wisdom. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers, and the gentle rustling of leaves created a sense of calm. "Tetsuo," the master said softly, "the mind is like a monkey, always jumping from one branch to another. To calm the mind, we must first understand its nature." Master Ryokan led Tetsuo to a small pond in the heart of the garden. The water was perfectly still, reflecting the blue sky above and the trees that surrounded it. He asked Tetsuo to sit by the pond and observe the water. "Look closely, Tetsuo. Notice how the water reflects everything around it when it is still. But if you disturb the water, the reflections become distorted." As Tetsuo watched the still water, he began to see the lesson in front of him. His mind was like the pond, and his thoughts were the disturbances, creating ripples, distorting his inner peace. "Master," Tetsuo asked with sincerity, "how can I keep my mind as still as this pond?" Master Ryokan smiled gently. His voice was calm, steady, like the pond's surface. "To still the mind, Tetsuo, you must practice mindfulness and meditation. But remember, stillness is not the absence of thoughts. It is the ability to let them come and go without attachment." Tetsuo took his master's words to heart. Over the next few weeks, he immersed himself in the practice of meditation. Each day, he focused on his breath, observing his thoughts as they came and went. But despite his efforts, the noise in his mind seemed as loud as ever. Frustration began to grow within him. "Master, no matter how much I meditate, my mind remains noisy. I feel like I am failing." Master Ryokan placed a reassuring hand on Tetsuo's shoulder. His touch was gentle, filled with compassion. "Patience, young one. Calming the mind is not something that happens overnight. Let me share with you a story. In a small village not far from the monastery, there lived a renowned calligrapher named Hakuin. His calligraphy was famous for its beauty and precision. Each stroke of his brush seemed to capture the very essence of Zen. But despite his fame, Hakuin was troubled by the incessant chatter of his mind. One day, seeking solace, Hakuin decided to visit a Zen master named Gensho, who lived in a secluded hermitage atop a mountain. Hakuin climbed the steep path with determination, his mind filled with hopes of finding peace. "Master," Hakuin said, bowing deeply, "my mind is constantly filled with thoughts. No matter how hard I try, I cannot find peace. Please, help me." Master Gensho opened his eyes, his gaze calm and steady, like the roots of the ancient tree he sat beneath. He listened quietly to Hakuin's troubles, and after a moment of reflection, he spoke. "The mind's chatter is like a noisy river," he said softly. "The more you fight against it, the louder it becomes. Instead, learn to flow with it. Hakuin looked at the master, confusion in his eyes. Flow with the noise? How could that possibly bring him peace? "Master," he asked, "how can I flow with the noise in my mind?" Master Gensho didn't answer right away. Instead, he handed Hakuin a cup of tea. "Before you drink, observe the tea leaves," he instructed. "Notice how they float and settle in the water. Your thoughts are like these tea leaves. Let them float and settle naturally." Hakuin stared at the tea leaves in his cup. He watched as they floated, drifting with the water's movement, and eventually settled at the bottom. Slowly, he began to understand the metaphor. Over the next few months, Hakuin practiced mindfulness, allowing his thoughts to come and go without resistance. And gradually, the chatter in his mind began to subside. In its place, he found a sense of inner peace and clarity. As Master Ryokan finished the story of Hakuin, Tetsuo felt a sense of calm wash over him. The lesson was clear. "Master, I understand now. I must let my thoughts flow naturally without fighting against them." Master Ryokan smiled, pleased with the young monk's realization. "Exactly, Tetsuo. Continue your practice with patience and compassion for yourself. In time, you will find the stillness you seek." Tetsuo resumed his meditation practice with renewed determination. He focused on his breath, letting his thoughts drift by like clouds in the sky. Whenever his mind wandered, he gently brought his attention back to the present moment. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, and slowly, Tetsuo began to notice a change within himself. The mind chatter that once plagued him began to lose its grip. He found moments of stillness and clarity where his mind was as calm as the pond in the garden. One crisp autumn morning, as the leaves turned vibrant shades of red and gold, Tetsuo sat by the pond, meditating. The world around him was alive with the sounds of nature, the gentle rustling of leaves, the distant chirping of birds. But within, his mind was serene. "You have done well, Tetsuo," Master Ryokan said softly. "Remember, the journey to stillness is ongoing. Continue to cultivate mindfulness and compassion, both for yourself and others." "Thank you, Master," Tetsuo replied, bowing deeply. "Your guidance has changed my life." Years passed, and Tetsuo grew into a revered Zen master, guiding others on their own journeys to stillness. He often recounted the lessons he had learned from Master Ryokan and the story of the calligrapher Hakuin. His teachings spread far and wide, helping countless individuals find peace amidst the chaos of their minds. One day, a young monk named Haru arrived at Chaofukuji, seeking guidance. Like Tetsuo before him, Haru struggled with constant mind chatter. He approached Master Tetsuo, who welcomed him with the same warmth and compassion that Master Ryokan had shown him years before. "Master Tetsuo," Haru said, his voice filled with anxiety, "I am tormented by my thoughts. How can I find peace?" Tetsuo led Haru to the same pond where he had once sought solace. "Sit by this pond and observe the water," Tetsuo instructed gently. "Let your thoughts come and go like the ripples on the surface." As Haru followed his master's guidance, Tetsuo shared the wisdom he had gained over the years. "The mind's chatter is a natural part of our existence," Tetsuo explained. "But we have the power to choose how we respond to it. Through mindfulness and meditation, we can cultivate a state of inner peace." Haru listened intently, finding hope in his master's words. With patience and perseverance, he began his journey towards stillness, just as Tetsuo had done years before. The moral of the story is simple, yet profound. The mind's chatter is like a noisy river, constantly flowing with thoughts and distractions. But to find peace, we must learn to flow with it, allowing our thoughts to come and go without resistance. Through mindfulness and meditation, we can cultivate a state of inner stillness and clarity. Remember, the journey to stillness is ongoing, And with patience and compassion, we can transform our minds and find true peace. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the constant noise of our thoughts. But by practicing mindfulness and embracing the natural flow of our minds, we can achieve a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Inner peace is not the absence of thoughts, but the ability to navigate them with calmness and grace. If you found this story inspiring and helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends and family who might benefit from these teachings. Don't forget to leave a comment below with your thoughts or any personal experiences you'd like to share. Subscribe to our channel for more life-changing stories and motivational content.